Most people just swipe the card to spend money. But Ayesha from NIT Mizoram has cracked the code to earn it. Every second, thousands of transactions takes place across the globe, and one name powers almost all of them. A giant of fintech world, Visa. But getting inside, that's a whole different level of difficulty. In this video, we have Aisha from NIT Mizoram who has got an internship offer from Visa. Hi, I am Adarsh on this channel Pagal Dada. Let's dive into the genuine interview experience. Aisha, we can start with your brief intro.
Okay, so
Hmm.
I am a student from National Institute of Technology, Mizoram, and I'm in ECE department, and I'm from Jharkhand, and recently I've gotten this intern role, software engineer intern role at Visa.
Visa. So first of all, congratulations for getting the role at Visa.
Thank
That
you.
too, in your LinkedIn profile, it says that you are the first person to get an intern from NIT
Yeah,
Mizoram.
that's true.
Uh,
That's true.
so congrats for that too. So
Thank you
now
so
we
much.
will dive into the interview process. So what was the eligibility criteria for visa?
So the common eligibility criteria was 7 plus CGPA with
Hmm.
no active backlogs, and it was for certain branches like CSE, ECE, IT, Triple E, and mathematics and computing.
So mainly the technical branches.
Yeah, so it was mainly for
Hmm.
technical branches.
And the role was what you said?
Yeah, it was for software engineer intern role.
Software. So for all the branches, the role was same, or for certain it was some different.
No, it was the same for all of us. It was the same.
Hmm. So if we dive into the process, how exactly was it? OT, GD, PI?
Yeah, so the
Hmm.
first, since it was on campus, it was rather
Hmm.
forgiving, I would say. The first round was the online assessment round, in which we had four medium to hard questions, I would say, which it was DSA.
Hmm.
All of them were DSA questions, and it was for, we had 70 minutes to solve all of them. And those who made it to the next round, it was just one more technical round, interview round,
Hmm.
and yeah, that was it.
So when you say about DSA, what exactly comes to the mind? Like how hard it is, or how to prepare for that?
Uh, I would say it was mainly, if you know, lead code medium level questions
Hmm.
mostly, and it was mostly based on strings, arrays, hash maps. That's that was the main, topic of questions.
Hmm. So was it like some problem statement or straight to point questions?
No, it was not straight to point. It was a bit tricky, I would say, especially
Hmm.
first question was a bit easier. The next
Hmm.
two were medium, it was still doable, and the last one was uh, rather trickier than the rest three. But I solved all of them, and
Hmm.
I got full score in that.
So do you have any count of approximate students who were qualified for this round, for the first round,
Uh,
OT,
I was the only one who qualified for the interview.
next round?
Yeah, I
So
was the only one.
total, how as it was the first company, so almost all students might have applied for the company, right?
Yeah, all the branches that were eligible, who had
Hmm.
the required eligibility criteria, who met the criteria, all of them did appear for the test.
It
But
could certainly be more than 100.
uh, yeah, I guess it would be definitely.
Hmm.
The
So the
OA
next round.
round was,
Hmm.
yeah, it was mostly eliminative round, so not
Hmm.
many of them like certainly didn't make it.
Hmm. So what was the next round?
And the next round was the technical round, technical interview round. And since I was the only one who appeared for it.
Hmm. What were the questions, if you can remember anything that
Yeah,
asked to you?
yeah. So it was a technical round. So there were many technical questions that my interviewer asked me. and there was one coding question. It was,
Mm,
I would say, lead code medium question. It was based on hash maps and sliding window. It was just one, and it was mostly logical based. It was straight to the point, and it was
mm,
not twisted. Yes, there were edge cases to take care of, and technical questions consisted of machine learning topics since most of my resume is built upon that. And
mm,
she also asked a lot about my previous internship, which I
mm,
did, and some technical and a few core questions from EC core questions.
mm.
And
So,
it was
what?
mostly conversational. A lot of
Mm,
behavioral questions were also there. So I would say the coding round only took like 2 minutes,
mm,
and the rest of it was mostly, behavioral and technical.
mm. So, what was your intern about?
Yeah, my I previously worked as a computer vision intern at a startup company.
Mm,
So she was more interested in that. She asked me what projects I worked on, what all I did, and the data set that I used, and how I built it, the pre-processing techniques,
mm,
and
mm,
some machine learning related questions.
mm. So, any questions were there, like regarding to the, let's say, any club activities that you have been part of? So, such questions.
No, it wasn't that specifically, but yes, she did ask me about my
Mm,
college experience, what were the challenges I faced, and how I overcame it, what other external curricular activity I do,
mm,
and how is my experience on that, and how I overcame challenges that I faced in my first year, and more such questions.
so, these were the behavioral question, correct? I know.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm,
mostly it was upon that and how I would cope up with, certain situations. She
mm,
gave me certain situation, how I would, uh, face that.
mm. So, what were the resources and the material that you used throughout your college life to land into visa?
Yeah, so since I am not a core CS student, I
Mm,
used to learn those topics. I used Geeks for Geeks.
mm,
And for DSA, I heavily practiced DSA. So for that, I used lead code. And
mm,
on lead code, I solved mostly medium questions.
lead code medium level.
Yes, lead
Mm,
code medium was that. And I think it is perfectly fine for the interview round. Yeah,
mm,
the OA was a bit more difficult. It would require you to solve at least a few hard questions and
mm,
more medium questions, but the interview was more forgiving.
mm. So Acha, if we say that someone wants to go into a company like Visa, where there is a software development role or anything related to software, not to their core branch. So what
Yes,
could be the ideal year to start their study, like first year or second year? From what point they should starting studying for
I
the lead code and
personally
other platform?
started, yeah, I personally started my coding journey from first year itself, but it wasn't very serious actually.
Mm,
I it I started my serious coding journey from second year, and I think that should do it if you're consistent and if you're serious about it and if you're really interested, then starting from second year or second semester should be more than enough.
mm,
And some course CS topics on the go, it would
mm,
help. Not too much, but yes, if you know just a little, I mean, not that less, but if you know enough, that should do
mm.
it because they don't really deep dive into deep technical or tricky questions in the interview.
Coming to the next part, that if we consider EC as a branch, That is
Yeah,
one of the toughest branch in any of the college, the core EC,
yeah,
if we consider.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
like, how did you
exactly.
manage your time to involve in both the activities, like in core academics at the same time the lead code that you have been
Okay,
doing?
so what I did was to do all my college stuff in college itself. I did not miss any classes. My attendance was
Hmm.
good, and I paid attention in class. So it was not like I have to prepare my core subjects along with the CS subjects. So it was not like that. That is more important if you're regular, if you pay attention, then you can manage your college studies, your core subjects easily in your college itself, and the rest of the time that you get in your hostel or when you're on
Hmm.
semester breaks, if you
Hmm.
do that well, if you manage that time well, then it's not very difficult to manage.
No. So, if there was one final tip that you would like to give to the juniors or viewers, what it could be?
I would say know your stuff well. Do your research before you sit for an interview or any any online assessment. Do your research. Use your resources well because
Hmm.
there is uh, enough resources on the internet. You search what kind of questions they ask and prepare just that. Because if you go deep into depth in,
Hmm.
or if you want to cover way too many topics, it's not going to help you.
Hmm.
Companies like Visa mostly check your depth and your thought process mostly. So
Hmm.
if you are good at one or two topics really well, if you do a few really good projects, that should be enough for you. And
Hmm.
also having good communication skills helps because even if you falter at some places, or there were questions where I wasn't very confident about, or
Hmm.
there were times that I gave vague answers, but yes, if you know how to manage it well,
Hmm.
it will help you. And definitely ask the interview questions. Make the interview more conversational rather than interrogative, and
Hmm.
converse well, I would say.
Hmm. So thank you so much, Aisha, for your time. I guess the viewers will also land their dream job and internship very soon. So that's the wrap up for Aisha's interview experience as an intern at Visa. If you have any doubt regarding any point, let me know in the comment section along with the college and the company that you want the news. Thanks for watching and do check the channel for more such videos.